Hello, and welcome to the Signal Update, as I am getting my butt ready, as there is stuff to do. I gotta set all of my things up that I normally do for my overview video, and so I'm just setting it up here on the new red ship start world. But we're here with the Signal Update, and we're gonna go through the Signal Update, and I'm gonna finish well, how many people we got watching right now? And 28 currently here. Nice to guys have you here. And we will probably, as people trickle in, we'll just continue to set up all the various sort of displays that I normally do when I do my overview videos and chat about the update. And then we're going to do some experimentation with the action relay and the new like temporary container when we blow up cargo containers and all that kind of jazz. So far, I've gotten a few things from the update here listed out. Do I have doggo cam on? I do not, but she's not in her bed, so therefore no doggo cam yet. When she goes into her bed, I will put doggo cam. Okay. Do I have all the pieces here? Yes, I do. Okay. We have the trusses. We have a truss decoy, which I think looks fucking amazing, if I have to say so myself. These trusses are going to make absolute amazing greeble. Like, just amazing greeble. But just making sure I have everything. I have the truss decoy. We have truss light that you can put on your trusses in both small and large. We have both small and large. You may not look it, but this one on right here is actually small grid, and this one is large grid, even though they're essentially identical. Please, Keen, I want unified grids so that small grid and large grid just fit together in the future. If you do that for Space Engineers too, I will love you forever. Because these are exactly the same. This is just 5 blocks long, which is the size of a large grid. Like, bruh, do it for me, please. But anyway, that's all the different trusses, because there's the truss, there's the offset truss, then there's the X, sort of the, like the T, and there's, no, that's the T, that's the X, and then there's this like truss connector thing. That's like a diagonal truss. There is no right angle corner though. So if I do truss diagonal, does it go onto the center of this thing? Yeah, you see how it doesn't go onto the center of it? So I can't diagonal truss off of a centered truss. I can just diagonal off of a offset truss. So a truss diagonal that was, you know, you took this, cut it off there, and cut it off there, and put that in the center, so it's just from there to there. We need that piece. That's the only piece I think is missing with trusses. And then on the a 90-degree, like you just cut that off there, a 90-degree truss. Those are the 2 trusses we're missing, I think. Moving on, we have the inset walls. There's 6 of them. We got a corner. We got just a regular inset wall. We got an inset wall with a light. Inset wall with this little decorative pillar thing. What would be really cool is if this pillar was like one of these access panels. And you know how you can like open these up and they have shit in them? If this was a little access panel you could open up and there was a control panel in it, mwah, magnifique. That would have been way better. But whatever. Interior, like inset corner inverted, the little interior corner, and then a diagonal. Yeah, I don't think there's anything missing there. I mean, that's realistically, you can make any shape of corridor you want with that, so that's all good. You have your bay windows. You got your window corner, like your inside corner, your regular window, your window with a bar, your window with a cap on the end. You got small grid versions of these, and you got a skylight dome on the top, which I could definitely see this as being placed on like the end of a corridor or something, and just like sealing it up and acting like, you know, there's that cupola that is on like the International Space Station that they go and poke their heads out of. They look around the space station there. So good. I'm going to be adding that to there. Can you imagine the cargo ships that you make with those trusses? Kanajashi at 1.5 speed is rather manic. Narrow corridors. So you've got your itsy bitsy corridors. If you want to build some tight spaces here. As well as this, which is stowage, which actually has a little bit of interior storage in it, which is kind of nice. And then you got these ones that have a control panel and a door. And this is just the half block size. Those pair well with a half block bed. Yeah. They do. Let's see. Half bed. Goes right with it. Okay, so I haven't finished setting up the rest of my displays yet, so you guys are going to get to see me set up some more of my displays. So that is inset wall, narrow corridors, trusses, truss decoys, corridors. No, wait, the corridors are next. Yeah, I'll show the corridors. Where are they in here? Where be my corridors? It's probably going to be the passages mega block here. These are the corridor narrows. Yes. Here we go. Corridor windowed roof. Ooh. It actually has a roof to it. I'll put them over in this corner. Corridor windowed roof. Do they have a 90 degrees? I'll make a turn here. They have an X intersection. No. Alright. I'm just gonna lay them all out beside each other. Screw having them sort of made out into a passageway or something like that you can walk through. I built the same thing. Is this corridored windowed roof? I'm going crazy. Corridor windowed sides. Okay, good. Corridor windowed one side. Corridor X. Get rid of that for now. Corridor T intersection. Corridor corner. Corridor light. Which I will put over here. And then just regular old corridor. Which I will put here. So that'll be all my corridors. You got a window that you can open and close. Ooh, that's kind of cool. But these are nice skylight sort of things. Windows on either side, windows on the one side. Very, very cool. I don't think there's any of these that they're missing. Also, I just like the fact that they're like fully sealed corridors. A lot of the corridors they gave us in the past, like passages and such, didn't have a floor. So the problem with that is you couldn't use them as like a bridge between one place and another, because you would have to build a floor underneath them. And sometimes that could get like kind of bulky unless you're doing like armor plates, and it gets kind of annoying. But these are like their own like, sealed thing, so you could pressurize them and have their own thing. Kind of nice. And then I can put the little thing here and say these are our corridor blocks. And there's 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's all. Next up is control panels, or really good looking control modules, which I think are on chairs. Yes, that's where they are. Oh my god, these things look great. Get rid of these. Set this up. Look at these control consoles. Console module with buttons, console module with LCDs, corner module, and then we got the interior corner module, which I'll put right there because that looks good enough. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all of these have small grid variants. Woo! Oh, baby! That makes me ultra happy that all these have small grid variants. Look at those. This is with buttons. This is with the chair. Wait, chair? Does that have a small grid variant? Oh, because it's just with the LCDs. Ah. Okay. And then this is the corner one. Yeah, there we go. Nice. I think I might move these, though. Just put them to the side. And because we're in space, everything's floating. So it all works out in the end. Alright. So that is the... what are these called? Console modules. Alright. Is that a new block? Those pieces PC blocks? Yeah, this is okay. What I've shown so far is part of the Signal pack, which is the paid DLC of the new update that came out today. So these new are like all these new blocks here are the cosmetic stuff, where I will be showing off the. I'm gonna put the stuff that is like for free in this space. And I'll get to that in just a minute because I believe... Oh, there's a couple trusses that are left. Oh, wait. Those are... What are those? I'm trying to... I'm going off of a screenshot from the... from the stream. And there's, like, Merrick's head in the way. His silly little Roman legionnaire armor freaking blocking it. I believe it's 2 more of a scaffold block. Where the hell? I think it's these 2 that are up here. There's this walkable scaffold and this scaffold sloped thing. Is that it? No. There's 2 scaffolds here. I guess this walkable scaffold block and walkable something else. No, we've already had these scaffold. There's some new scaffold. I gotta figure this out. 1 second. I gotta go and find the Signal update Space Engineers. What are these 2 blocks called? What are you doing today? Looking at the new update. Oh, that's a better picture. It actually doesn't have their heads in the way. Look at that. I can find stuff. Scaffold set. 4 blocks. Oh, it's the corners. Right. I remember back when I was doing the scaffolding stuff, and I complained to the fact that they didn't have a T and they didn't have an X. Get rid of that, put it there. Welcome to come play on your server anytime. Yeah, unfortunately, I really don't have time for playing on servers. I hardly have time to even play on my own recordings and such and get them done. So, unfortunately, I'm a busy boy. Alright. So this is the scaffolding. And this is being added in, so you don't get this scaffolding if you buy this pack. As far as I remember, this scaffolding is added into a different pack. It's like Decorative Blocks 3 or whatever. Something like that. Okay, that's all the paid for items. Now we can do free items. So, round armor plates. Got some new armor plates. Where are they? Plate. Alright, just find the armor plates here. Armor... Where, oh, where? There. Armor plates. Ah, I got rid of my tool. Armor plates. Okay. So, I remember when I was looking at armor plates in the past, they did not have these shapes, and it made me very sad. So we've got this panel. They had... Did they... Yeah, this shape? Is there anything else in here? Oh, they're just the... Oh, it's just the small grid versions of them. So I'll just place that right there, and I'll place one of these right here. And we'll make these nice and colorful compared to the background, so people can tell that they are supposed to be different. Yeah, it'll be both in light and heavy versions, but I can just show off the light versions. Antenna. Compact antenna. Oh yeah, baby. That thing is per day. I'm going to put it one block back so I can put the LCD right there for it. The LCD is going to go right here for these armor panels. So, armor panels. This is compact antenna. Oh, look at this thing. Oh, man. Well, I mean, this is compact compared to this monstrosity. So, it's better, especially because it's only one block, like, its footing is only one block. This is a 1x2. 1x2x5. This is like a 1x1x3. So this is like the size of like a, just larger than like an oxygen tank or something like that, or a thruster. So it's quite small comparatively. That is actually quite nice. It is very nice. How tall is the compact antenna? 3 high. 3 high. Okay, what else we got? We got the broadcast controller and the action relay. Now we also have that temporary container, which I need to show that off. So I'll put a cargo container. And I'm going to make it a small grid. Now we'll make it a small cargo container. We'll just have it floating here. Now, how do I want to do this? I'll put it here. I'll put, like, some steel plate into it. And then we are going to damage this with a grinder. So I need to get a grinder. Let's clear my bar real quick. Get myself a grinder. Give my LCD and building block back. So if this is correct, how they describe this... Oh! Fucking hell, that's loud. Okay. I totally forgot to add in sneaky sounds. Oh, God. That was not nice. And sneaky sounds. I don't know why that isn't just, like, vanilla at this point. It just needs to be. The sounds, the tools are just so goddamn loud in this game. They're disgustingly loud. Okay. There. Oh, and then you got the little cargo container. Then you can open up the cargo container and you can get the stuff out of it and then it disappears. Okay, good. So that'll be a very good demonstration of the how that works. So then this is going to be right here, and this is going to be the temp container. Okay. And then the last thing is the action relay and the broadcast controller. Broadcast controller, which I'm gonna tuck in right here, I guess. Let's put it right here. And the action relay, which I'll tuck in right here. And I'm going to move this over because I need space for it to have its LCD. This is the broadcast controller. And the action relay. Alright, so now for all these LCDs. Which one's here? So all the ones, I can tell which ones I haven't done yet. Because you see the ones that actually do have text on them have the really... like the bar is short. When the ones I haven't done, the bar is long because there isn't much to scroll down. So it goes up to 5 and then everything past 5. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to go text and images, 9, center, and then I need to go around and manually adjust these a little bit. This will be 8.5, so it fits. Very good. Temp container, compact antenna, armor panels. Ah! I bumped it! It's flying away! Console Electrical modules, corridors, narrow corridors, bay windows, inset walls. Okay, we're good. That is, God damn allergies, man. Ugh. Hurts my brain. That should be all of the things. So this world is now set up when I go and make my video for the showcase. Now, the meat of this meal that I am serving, it is going to be going and trying out this action relay, because I have no idea how this damn thing works, and we're going to figure it out together. Ugh. My nose hurts. Man, I hate allergies, man. They just... It's so fucking annoying. I don't know why you got down here. Anyway. Oh, that's cool. They got a large antenna underneath the platform on a hinge. Cool. Alright, so we're going to move away from this platform, and now we're going to start doing some experimentation. We're going to get ourselves a little bit of a block. Probably get it with some power. And we got action relays, and we got broadcasting. And let's go take a look at these blocks. And as far as I know, I need an antenna on this grid so that I can talk to other grids and such. Oh, excuse me for a second while I am in sinus distress. Okay. Broadcast controller. What can you do? Broadcast controller is for sending messages to the chat, as far as I remember. Broadcast to owner only, target only, like faction only, or everyone. So, owner only will just go to me. It wants to use an antenna. If left unchecked, only players inside cockpits of this grid will see the messages. That's kind of cool. So, you could be like, oh, hey, I just want to show the people that are currently in the ship, like a warning. Alright. Custom names. Sets a custom names display before each message. Let's just call this computer. And hello world as the most benign computer message you can think of. Because every single coding assignment starts with printing hello world to the screen. Okay. So that's message 1. I gotta see here with a button. Or I got 2 things. Let's build this out a slight bit. So I have some space. Let's put a control seat on here. And I want to see what's in the G menu for this thing. Okay. So we can toggle the block on and off. We can show on HUD. We can enable for everyone, enable for phone owner only, enable for faction only. Use the antenna on and off so we can change those as we want. We can transmit the 1 to 8 messages, send a random message, or send our current GPS. So if I hit transmit message 1 and I hit 1, the computer says hello world. Interesting. So I can trigger those based on other things. So one thing, for example, that I thought would be something I want to do with this kind of warning, like I want this thing to trigger off of something, is if I do an AI, say, defensive block on this grid, And I set that AI defensive up. I want the AI behavior to be on. I want it to detect enemies. I can set up an action when it happens to broadcast, say, message 2. So when it detects an enemy, it's going to broadcast to something. And on the broadcast controller, I can say enemy detected. And then what I can go and do is that thing should be running. The AI controller is on. That's going. That's things. Yada yada. It's not going to try to flee. Now I just need to go and I'm going to take this entire base with me. And I'm going to go a little bit further away. Because I don't want any of their turrets to... I'm going to go to here. I don't want any of their turrets on the red ship to do anything to me. So, what I should be able to do at this point is... grab a... Spectre. And the only things that aren't available in this world are the turrets that I was using. And this thing does not have any... wait 1 second. Gyros, hello. Spectre, why are you not wanting to move at all is a very good question. Hello? Oh, it's because, like, everybody's overriding controls for some reason. Alright, there you go. Now you're useful. This has no weapons currently, so I can then just give this to the space pirates. And when this detects the thing, enemy detected. Nice! So that's the kind of thing I would probably use the broadcast controller for. Can you imagine? Okay, you know how, like, if you remember back in one of Splitsy's series, he set up a little thing that was like a battery, and it was a turret, and it was, he called it his sandbags, right? It was like a battery, and it was a turret with a little bit of ammo, and nowadays you could put a AI defensive on it to increase its range. And you could stick a broadcast controller on it and a little antenna. Compact antenna doesn't, I guess, don't really need a compact antenna on a small grid because we already got a compact antenna on there. You could have the thing give 2 different messages. You could have it set on the broadcast controller. You have, like, enemy spotted, and you could have all clear. And on the AI defensive, you could do something like AI behavior on, set up actions. The first block is when that it has spotted something, and the second block is when it has lost its spotting. So it would be like transmit message 1, transmit message 2. So this thing, realistically, if I plop this in, it should yell out that it's spotted something when it does spot something. Should. If I'm doing this correctly. Did I turn on the broadcast controller? Yeah, antenna. Message 1. Turret emplacement. I don't know if I need that. Send message to enemy detected. All clear. Come on, you should spot that enemy. Oh, it gave me the all clear there. Let me paste this Oh, and it's it's back to me. Okay. Space pirates. We should get like 2 enemy detecteds here. Yeah, see? The computer and the turret emplacement both say enemy detected. And if I delete this, the turret emplacement says all clear. So that way, I could definitely see these as like radar stations. And you could set one up on a location and then give it a name and just like put a wind turret, like a wind generator on it, like a turbine. So it always has power. And all it does is it's sitting there with a defensive. And it just yells out if it spots an enemy. And so, say I had a base, like there's the, wherever the starting base is in this scenario. I've gone too far away from it. But imagine you put a sensor over in this cluster. And you gave that a name of like cluster 2 or something like that. Because there was like multiple clusters around here. And you had this thing set out over there. And all of a sudden you have this message coming in your chat. Cluster 2, enemy spotted. And you know there's an enemy over there in cluster 2. You know, I think that's going to be really useful. Especially if, like for like PvP and servers. Can you imagine just setting up like a little like long range drifting sensor, like a sensor drone that you just fire off like a missile from your ship and let it drift in front of you several kilometers ahead, and if it spots something it yells at you? That's so nice. I think that's going to be really useful. But yeah, you're also going to be able to do things like you can say to everybody, if they're coming close to you, you can do stuff like, oh, hey, we've detected you. Back off. We're going to start shooting at you soon. And you can put that automatically in the chat. Well, even this thing has, you don't need it. Oh God, it's drifting. It's drifting. You don't need to do an event controller to send GPS. This broadcast controller can send GPS directly through it. So you don't even need to do an event controller part of it, which I think is like even cooler. So that's awesome. Okay. Oh man, that's going to be quite nice. Yeah, we can do like basically any action that can be triggered through an event controller or something like that. You could then send that to the broadcast in order to say a particular thing, so you can be up to date on when certain actions are occurring. And so like we could why don't we do this? Let's get that airlock, the better airlock that the guy made, and let's make it yell at us. Here, I'm gonna just plug it into this station. So no, we'll have it a separate grid. And we'll put a broadcast controller on it. And just plug it in there. So, when certain things happen, like with this event controller, we have our setup actions. When a door is opened here, we can then go to this, and we can go broadcast controller, transmit message 1. And then we can say the broadcast controller, custom name, airlock, and we can say airlock cycling. And when we go in here, oh, did I? Oh wait, it needs an antenna. It needs an antenna in order to yell at us. There we go. Airlock cycling. Oh, can you imagine that? You're in your ship, and you're like you know you're alone, and then you just get a warning that your airlock is cycling. And you're like, what? My airlock's cycling? And then you're like got a warning that somebody has opened the door or something like that. Oh, that's awesome. So I see that as like giving you up-to-date statuses on what your grid is doing. So for me, as like a pro, like I write some Python scripts and stuff like that for my work. And one of the things I do in that is I always put in print statements bloody everywhere when I'm making code. And so that I know what my code is doing at any one time. I go and say, okay, print the variable going in, print what you're going to do with it, print the variable coming out. And so we can see like how that variable is being changed by the code. So if I set up a bunch of these in my ship, and so my ship is constantly telling me, like, warning, you're at this level of hydrogen, warning, you are like close to an enemy, warning, like, yeah, hydrogen low, battery low, O2 low, like all these things, warning, like, I could just figure out whatever my ship would be in terms of its maximum carry capacity for its weight until it starts to get too sluggish. And I could have the thing yell at me and say, like, you are approaching your maximum carry weight, stop mining. And, like, that'd be awesome. So for me, this is just like in programming, just adding like print statements freaking everywhere in your code. That's how I'm going to use the broadcast thing. Yeah, warning hell breach if all of a sudden in an area that should be always pressurized is depressurizing. What I'm feeling, you just want to get yelled at. I do like it when computers talk to me sassy. They're just like, oh god, dude, your code is so bad. But now what we can do is we have this relay, action relay. Okay, so if debug, then show mentions, hooray, made it here. Totally, I do those things. So, action relay, how does this thing work? We've got 100 channels. Okay, we're going to send signals to people that are on the same channel. And we're going to set up actions. Huh? Okay. Let me go and put a relay on this thing. I think I need multiple relays. Yeah, sensors are close to a surface, and then it, like, warns you. Ah, yeah, there's just going to be so many things I'm going to do with that. So, action relay, send signal. That? What? How do action relays work then? Accept signals from faction. Set up actions. What? Oh, let me set up actions on this thing. Action relay thing, set up actions. Let's just set both of these doors to close, because that's how you cycle the airlock. Because you got airlock doors, and you just try to close them both, because one of them is off, and that cycles the airlock. Okay, so if I am on this grid, and there's an antenna on this grid, and we have an action relay on this grid, and there's an action relay on that grid, and an antenna on that grid. I believe all that's required. I'm on channel 1. Do I need to set up actions on this one? And then this one is action relay channel 1 with something in the setup actions here. Let's send a signal on channel 1. Send signal. Oh, okay. That's how it works. So, and if I'm not mistaken, if I copy this and place it out over here, I have two things that are both on channel 1, and I press the button, both of these should cycle. They both cycle. Okay. And I'm going to go and remove their fucking sound blocks, because screw that sound block, it's annoying. Okay. So, how that works is that if you have an action relay on one grid at a particular channel, you do not need to set anything on this one. And you on the, like, that's the sender. On the receiver end, you set up actions, and it has to be on the same channel, and you can have as many different things as you want on that same channel. Okay. So, like here, I've got this set to channel 1. Both of these are both set to channel 1, and they both have cycle the airlock on their actions. And if I send them a signal, they cycle their airlocks. Okay. So that is just a really easy way to have two grids talk to each other. So I can do an action on one grid that can make another grid do something. So what we could do with that is essentially like infinite at this point, really. Like, you have an event controller that looks for a particular condition. When that condition occurs, you could send a signal to something else. So, yeah, open hangar doors. This is totally, that was like one of my first things. I think this is going to be like the easiest thing to build is like a garage door opener. You have like the bay doors of your ship, or the hangar doors of your rover bay, and you have a button in your rover or in your ship. Then when you approach, you press the button and the doors open. Like, that's the simplest thing. And the question is, work through subgrids. Oh, so if I do something like this, so let's do a rotor. Like, I assume you mean subgrids within the same grid, because if it was subgrids over here, it probably wouldn't matter. But if I was going to do, say, a rotor here, and then a block, and we'll do a action relay, and I don't know if I need a second antenna, but I'll throw one down for now. And then I did something that I can make trigger like a door. So on this one, subgrid, I will go action relay. I'll set this to 2. Action relay on the subgrid, set that to 2, just so I can not have those airlocks cycling all the time when I'm doing this. Set up actions. This is going to be open and close this door. So if I send a signal from that action relay to that action relay, does it open and close that door? It does. Ooh. Do I need the antenna on the subgrid? No. Do I need this antenna? No. You don't need antenna with these things. Interesting. I know you can already control subgrids like this without action relay, but then we can just do something like this, where we go battery, and can we cut this? And does it still work? Now it's dead. So now we need double antenna, right? One antenna, nothing. Second antenna. Back to working. Okay. They work through connectors the same way. Let's find out! See, it's all important to find out the limitations of everything. Because then you can... once you know the limitations, you know how you can build it. Connected. The whole thing is slowly drifting. But that's okay, because we'll go in here and... I can't, because we have to have velocity of 0. That's okay, we're slowly drifting. Let's get rid of the antennas. And you work through a connector. Yes. So you can theoretically use that on a ship that is docked with you without having to have antennas. Good to know. But as soon as they undock, they need... okay, if we go in here and we connector... unlock and turn it off. We need the antenna again. Oh. Or when you have large stations broken up by connectors. Yes. Have you checked out the Takeover NPC grid? Not yet! It's part of the free stuff, isn't it? I gotta find an NPC grid to take over. We are slowly drifting, and that is okay. I'm just gonna kill that. And I'm just gonna place this back in. And make this a station. Huh? Oh, I might have the unsupported stations. Oh, no, wait. This is slowly drifting. Now you should have 0 angular momentum. Yeah, convert to station. There we go. If I... It's only NPC grids that do that, eh? So if I go and grab my Spectre again... and I give it to the space pirates... Ah! Ah! Stop! Bad turret! Even though it's a... I guess this is not an NPC grid. Okay, we gotta go find an NPC. Where's the console? I don't know what the commands are to spawn an NPC out of nowhere. I know what they are with, like, mez, but... like, module and counter spawner, but not with this stuff. Experiments. Okay. Just so I don't lose this, thing. You, blue ship. Oh, wow, blue ship has been upgraded. I think it looks pretty good. Let's see, where's your cockpit, Mr. Blue Ship? Doesn't have it. Okay. I guess I just need to wait until one of the random NPC grid spawns. Unfortunately. To give it a try. Any list? Yep, nothing out there. Oh, there was probably some earlier. They probably just flew off and despawned. Alright. You can have an action relay on channel 1 to turn off the base weapons with a simple button press. To turn off base weapons if you have a salvage ship not fully taken over. That's a great idea! That's a wonderful idea. Will it work with NPC spawned by Mez? I have no idea. Let's test it. Let's go add Mez to this world. Mods. Mez. First gotta put in the actual modular counter systems, and then Mez something. Space Pirates Enhanced. What is this? What's a good Mez thing for simple, not gonna actually blow myself up? Assert combat systems, probably. Yeah. Yeah, let's do assert, I think. Just looking through the workshop page for it. I think this is a good one. And there isn't any prereqs with this, eh? No. Okay. And then we will load. And I need to very quickly Space Engineers MES spawn commands. Is there a way to update your current playthrough? And if you're going to do so, yeah, well, for my current playthrough, I have to do some testing. I have to figure out what the hell is going on. Oh, man. Oh, thank you, Nat. You're so useful. I was just Googling and getting to the Modular Counter Systems wiki, but you already had it right there. You're so helpful. All right. Let's make ourselves invulnerable and untargetable and can use all terminals. And let's go and go take over this mining transport and see how it works. So where is your cockpit? Ah, here we go. So I get into the cockpit, open up the menu. Alright. Where does the, try a terminal, okay. Space Pirates dead. I need to add one block or something? Grind down or build the seat block. Let's see. So now this is me. Ownership of the rest is Space Pirate. I've got control of the grid, though. This doesn't seem to be operating how I expected it to. Maybe it's because I've got some of these, Here. Let me turn these off. Whoa! Ah! What? What do you want, turret? I gotta grind you! I don't know. Let's delete this and try another... Wait, there's another grid out there. An assailant. Private sale. Ah! No. Go away. Hey, there's an assert. A bear fly. Might be survival only, as I'm in a survival world. Ooh, right. That is something. Wait, I didn't want to do that. Go back to the bear fly. Okay, let's put my butt inside this bear fly. I don't see any turrets or anything. Assert command! Alright. Let's grind down this cargo container, and I can't take it over. Let's go swap into survival and see if we can do it. Showcase. Edit settings. Also, I'm going to check my PCU limit, because maybe that's a thing. Survival, advanced, total PCU. Actually, okay, we actually do have a limit. I was wondering if there was like an issue with like if you had infinite PCU, they just wouldn't care about it anymore. Oh, we do have a dog in the bed. She is there. Although it is a little dark in the room because I have the lights off. So I will activate lights. There, you can have a German Shepherd on your screen. We need grinder. And I only need 100 of them. We need a welder. Ah. It's just, I think this is the way to the cockpit. Yep. Oh! Fatally wounded by small arms fire, respawning. Rip! I died. Where the bear fly went. Oh, it's over there. Oh, is it shooting up my, something? Oh, no, my platforms are way over here. Okay. I have no idea how the thing is supposed to function. Also, that fruit fly is going in hard. So we are going to get rid of you guys. Yeah, there we go. I don't know. I do not know why that isn't working. Maybe it's because I have mods in my worlds. I don't know. Oh, allergies. The pain. Ugh. Oh, God. Yeah. But also you can see there's those death messages where it's like, you have survived small arms. Like, you died by small arms fire. You got an entire business shipment grid that's hostile and still giving you the option to claim the grid. Oh, maybe there's something I did to this save. Like, you're in survival? Are you running any mods? Like, what have you done to your save that allows you to do that? Like, maybe there's, like, some option that you need to turn on or something. Build info, build vision. Yeah. Don't have cargo ships on. Very strange. Very, very strange. I do not know why it is not working. I'm going to remove Mez for now and assert. He's a very sleepy dog. We spent an entire like hour and a half at the dog park where she chased a lot of other doggies around. So that is why she is flopped. Oh, and I'm probably gonna set it back to creative. How do you use scripts in private worlds? PS4. Oh yeah, probably. I don't believe you can use scripts on console because the console the console makers want to lock that down because theoretically, like you could load some malicious code into a script, and so they don't want that, and so unfortunately, I don't think you can do that in console. Oh, the floating objects! I got rid of the floating truss. Oh, did I get rid of all my... I did! I got rid of all my things! Okay, we gotta reset. When I deleted the floating objects, I deleted all the stuff I had set up that was the floating objects as well. God damn it! That's why we have backups. This is good backup. Have a dozen remote gun emplacement all around your base. Turn them off. Yeah. Because you just have that as like, oh, channel 5 is the turrets. And that activates and deactivates the turrets, channel 5. And like, channel 6 does the cargo bay doors or something like that. There we go. I still got my stuff here, right? Or did trash cleanup get them? Oh, I probably went away and trash cleanup got them. Yeah, because trash removal's on. So because I went all ways, they got turned back. Yeah, okay. I gotta just put these back out here. Ugh. God, nose hurts. God, I hate spring for this. I mean, I love it for the weather, but god damn, I hate allergies. I just want to rip my sinuses out. Go. Alright. Those are back. Those didn't have any small grid. These ones had small grid versions too. God, it got rid of everything, man. Goddamn trash cleanup. Okay, so this is bay windows. And we need the small grid versions. There we go. And then I need the small grid versions of these things. I'm just making them a different color so they kind of stand out. Oh yeah, and also the action relays and things. Oh yeah, this armor. Ugh. Where's the panels? There's the panels. That's heavy. Where's the light panels? There they are. Eight. Which block is that next to the walkway to the ship near the trusses? This thing? This is a decoy. This is the new truss decoy. It's freaking awesome. That's what it is. No. There we go. That should be all the small grid versions that got deleted. That's because it's not in the truss thing. Like, it's not there. It's like truss light and truss decoy are like separate. They're in their own thing. They're not part of the trusses. When you rotate through like the trusses, they're not there. So that's probably why you missed them. Okay. So, alright, now this thing is set up properly, so it's not going to screw me over in the future. Let's head back out to our little experimentation spot. And what else can we do with this? So we have the ability to send out signals to other grids to make them do things. How... Looks like mods that affect NPC spawns disable the NPC takeover button. Good to know. So if I'm in this current save, this version of this save at least, if I look at it again, I don't have mez. I just have the quality of life stuff. So I should be able to use that to take over stuff. It should be there. We'll hang out and we'll play around with the grids and stuff like that here until something spawns. And then we'll try to go and HUD mods also might affect it. Ugh, yeah. Maybe. I don't have any like major HUD mods like HUD color or anything on there. I just have some basic stuff. I had a crazy idea. What happens if we set up one grid that yells at a second grid, but when this grid gets detection from that grid, the action is to send a signal, and do they go into an infinite loop? So we're gonna have the two grids like this. I'm gonna be a block apart. On this side, we're gonna go action relay on channel 5, and we're gonna set up actions to action relay send signal. So when this gets a signal, it's going to send a signal on channel 5. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side, where the action relay on channel 5 is going to get a signal and it's going to send a signal. And we're going to set also broadcast controller message 8. So every time this does a cycle, it's we'll say cycle. I wonder what the fuck's going to happen. Are they just going to start yelling at each other constantly? Are they going to go back and forth? Wait. Stand by preparing for departure. Oh, was something on the base here set up on channel 5? Look, the thing retracted. What? The thing was set up to channel 5. The hell? I want that back. What channel do I need to press for that? Action relays. Channel 5, set up actions. Walkway, broadcast controller, transmitter, timer block, start. Oh, cool. Can I reverse that anyway? Action relay 3, channel block 1, set up actions, nothing. That's probably one that I placed there. Oh, interesting. Hinges, eh? Hinges, transmit message, and timer block. Hinges. Whoa, that thing flies into position fast. Okay, you stay there. Alright, so I can't use channel 5. Let's move... Oh, we're going to use this for build vision. Oh, cool. I can change the channels with build vision. Very good. Hi, Kanajashi chat. How are you all doing? We are good. We're experimenting with the new update. Channel 6. Okay. Cycle 3x. Oh, that's kind of cool. So if you spam it, it gets like how many... It doesn't actually just like spam the chat. It just says how many times that has occurred in the past second. Okay, so my plan of having one action relay cycle the other action relay seems to have not functioned properly. We do use your cut videos well for the summaries. Absolutely. That's going to be for tomorrow. I'll record it after I'm done. Or even if you guys want, I could just record this stream. Obviously turn off doggo cam for it. And you guys can... and then I'll send that recording to the editor, but you guys can see what I'll say for it. What if I do this? What if I do action relay is setup actions is to trigger now a timer block, and the timer block it's a trigger now, so it doesn't matter, is the one that sends a signal. Yeah, the new menu is awesome. I think it's going to be very nice for new people that are like, oh, what do I do first? And you can point them towards, go and do this. All right. Look at that. They're yelling back and forth at each other. 20x. They're caught in an infinite loop. Now, they're all yelling at each other. If I added another station, that's now 3040x. If I add another one, or another one, how long until I start getting some lag? Is this a new lag machine, I wonder? They seem to have stopped at 40x. Maybe I need to trigger them. They have stopped. Interesting. Doesn't seem to be going any higher here. What if I trigger now on a few more of these things? Nope, still just 3040. They seem to have predicted that people might use this for some kind of lag machine. Stop the cycling here. Interesting. Okay. So that's something. Let's set up another experimentation here. Just something that I believe will be, like, the most common use of this kind of stuff. Which will be, like, doors. Oh, what's it called? Fuck, what's the big door called? What's the big door from... Gate! There it is. It's from Frostbite. Like how you know that what I was thinking about, just the fact they called it a big door. I like putting two big doors beside each other. Excellent hanger. Without using actual hangers. I think it looks a lot better. I don't need these armor. I don't need broadcast. I just need a relay. And an antenna. And get the relay on here. Get the antenna on here. Relay is gates. Gates as a group. Action relay. Channel 10. Actually, let's go back to channel 1 and I'll remove the other stuff. Setup actions. Gates. Open, closed. Easy peasy. And I'm just going to get rid of all the rest of this junk because we don't need it. And that's on 1. So then we'll grab a... Spectre. And on the Spectre, we're going to put an action relay. No, wait. Yeah, we need an action relay. I was just like, what do I need exactly on this thing again? We'll just drop that, put an action relay in there. And, oh, right, all my gyros are overriding. Okay. What we're going to do is put that action relay on our bar here. And we can just send a signal. And open the cargo. Open the pod bay doors, Hal. I'm afraid I can't do that, Jim. Oh, I'm too fat. I gotta go through here on an angle. Wait, can I even fit? Oh no, I got the thing rotating. Oh, I'm almost too fat for that. Just about too fat for that. Gotta make this a station. But this kind of thing where you can just affect hangar doors or something from another grid is amazing. Okay, SPRT military escort. I'm in creative as already, so I shouldn't die. So let's go take it over. Let's go see if it works. Plunk my ass inside here. Grid unfriendly. Bunch of access denied. Okay. Let's go through the door here. Let's get the seat. Hey, there it is! It worked! Okay, so claim PCU of this grid. You have 2,951 PCU available. Oh, sorry. PCU needed to claim 2,951. Available PCU 99,300, like 993,817. Okay. Okay. So I've claimed this grid. But things are still access denied. What? Does this not make the grid mine? I still have to, like, go through and hack it? Oh, that's annoying. Oh. Where's your remote control, dude? I just don't think this, different behavior than what you had? I hate hacking it. I thought that was the whole point. Is that you took over the thing and it takes it over for you. Like, I don't want to go through and freaking have to grind down and rebuild every goddamn block in this ship. Like, thought that was the point of the takeover. Was that it took it over. I know it's like for the PCU, so that like it's now your PCU and it's your grid, but yeah. This is why I like mods like easy NPC takeovers and that kind of thing, because like you bring out your little your saw and it highlights the 5 blocks that you need to take over. The point is it will not despawn now. Yeah. Okay, so that feature was not as good as I wanted it to be. Yeah, that kind of sucks. 'Tis unfortunate that that is the case of how that works. I wish it worked better. I'm going to take this example of the relay and add it to the base over there. Because I think it's a good example. Is there a thing that already kind of does this? Is there a docking port somewhere here that I can use? There's this little mining ship. I gotta see here. Does this mining ship, who is not fully built, I don't know why, man. Sometimes these scenarios, they come with ships that are half built, and it annoys me. Finish your ship builds. God damn it. He's got an action relay. Okay, let's see what options he has for his action relay. Channel 5 and channel 1. I think he would fit through a gate, eh? I'll just put a gate like over here on a thing, just to be like, hey, this is what a gate could look like, sort of thing. Like, look, we can do this. Let's put it up here. It's going to be gate 2 and 3. Yeah, it's got to be those two. Gates. Example gates. I'll put you on channel... I don't know. Channel 7. Lucky channel 7. Setup actions. Groups. Example gates. Open, close. Okay. And we'll put that on the miner. We'll get rid of his drills, and we'll put his Where's your action thing? Wait, do you not have one on you? Oh, you don't. Well, that's good to know. Action relay. Send signal. On channel 7. Yeah, that's a really good example. I just park this thing right here. And use it when I need to. Okay, so that's kind of the experimentation I kind of wanted to do today. I've been streaming for, what, an hour and 40 minutes? A lot of this stuff in terms of like broadcast controller would be useful for like sending out signals when an enemy gets close or just letting you know the status of your grids. The action relay is obviously just going to be great for having grids talk to each other and give each other signals and when they should do certain actions. For the rest of this time, would you, like, I can just take some requests of what people would like to see, how things function together. Or I can go in and I can just record my, like with you guys here, record what would be my, the recording for my overview thing. Get that out of the way and then wrap it up. Whatever you guys want to see. Otherwise, I think this is pretty good. I like this update. Got some good stuff. There's a new type of remote control, as in it's like a garage door opener kind of remote control. Like it's a way to have grids talk to each other. So it's not remote control as in the sense of you take control. It's you send a signal to the grid and the other grid does something that is pre-planned. I wish I had some of these blocks while setting up Season 5. Yes. Will you be adding any of the new blocks for your current season? Absolutely. Some of these stuff is going to be really good. I mean, I guess I could just do the recording. You guys can see what that process is like. Also, thankfully, I do have my editor. So I don't need to, in the past, I would do these recordings all in one go. And I would just go. But now that I have my editor, I can do a section and then shut up and then chat with you guys for a bit and then do another section. And then he can pick it apart later. So I guess I'll start up here on the red ship. Right up here. Oh my god, my foot's in my hand. What the hell? Ah, there we go. Now I'm not doing some weird yoga. Set up an action relay to send an event controller to turn off like 5 things on a base, or on, like saying I'm leaving to go exploring, turn on the security systems or something and so forth. Yeah, you could also do that with a timer. You could set the action like through the you can set the action relay like for one, the action relay itself has a lot of channels. Like it's got all these channels, but then it also has a full bar of actions. But oh yeah, I'll turn doggo camera off before I record. I actually have another whole scene that doesn't have doggo camera and it just has the game. It also doesn't have any notifications. Like typically if people subscribe or something like that, I get like pings that go off. So this scene doesn't have any of that. So that's for the scene I use for a recording, where this scene has like Streamlabs and doggo cam, and oh, doggo disappeared because she went off to the corner. But you know, that kind of stuff. But yeah, we can flip over to the recording scene. But for your action relay, you have a full toolbar of options, plus like all of the other ones here. So you could set them all up here within the action relay itself. But if that's not enough, you can just have the action relay call a timer, and the timer can have a whole bunch of options as well of what it could do. So it's pretty good in terms of the amount of things it can do. Alright, there's my little character there. We're going to start back out over here. And I need to figure out what I'm doing. Alright, I need to have the little thing on my side. You can see what we have. And Scaffold set is part of what? It was like Decorative 3 or something like that. The different DLCs. Or is it Decorative 2? No, it was... The scaffolds are part of Decorative 3. If I'm not mistaken. Just looking at Decorative 3 pack right now. Yeah, scaffolds are brought in Decorative 3. Okay. This show is filmed before a live studio audience. Alright. You guys can see the peek behind the curtain and see what it's like when I make a video. Alright, I'm both streaming and recording. This is kind of a first. And we're not going to do any music. That way it's easier to edit around. You don't get musical jumps and such. Alright, so signal update. The scaffolds are from scaffold set 3. Sorry, not scaffold set. The scaffolds are from decorative block 3. And I think I have everything out there. I lost myself. Where the fuck is the thing? Oh, there it is. Hello and welcome to the Signal Update. We have a brand new update for Space Engineers, and we're going to go through every single block that has been added, what you get for free, what you get for paid. Is there anything missing that should be there? Is there any issues with... Oh, see, I screw up so many times when I'm doing my intro that I eventually get it right, and then I go for it. And, my editor Moose is going to be listening to this and being like, why is he talking to himself so much? Is because I actually am doing this in front of a live stream, Moose. So I'm doing something weird. Okay. Hello and welcome to the Signal Update. We're going to be taking a look at all the new blocks that came where? Where did they go? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. What am I going to say? Welcome to the Signal Update. We take a look at all the new blocks, what's paid, what's free, and everything. I don't fucking know. I don't know what to say. I don't know anything. My mind is blank. Hello and welcome to the Signal Update. A new update for Space Engineers dropped today, and we're going to take a look at all of the new blocks and the really cool functionality that the Action Relay and the Broadcast Controller have added to the game. And we're panning in here on the newest starting scenario. They have revamped the red ship scenario. I've actually modified it in order for it to be my showcase. So there used to be like a dock here and such. But let's get to it and take a look at all of the new blocks. Now, we're going to take a look at what is free first, and then we're going to take a look at the paid blocks. So if we hop on down here, first things first, we have some new armor panels. Now, these are just replacing, like, they should have been there before. There were just missed blocks. So we finally got this curved corner, and as well the interior corner of the sphere blocks. So these are quite good for being able to finish off that armor shaping on your builds. And I can actually just stop there because I'm talking to the live studio audience, and I have the editor and he'll put things together. So then I can come back and line myself up for the next one. Next up is the compact antenna. Now, this is just going to be so much nicer for some of your builds, because if you look at a regular antenna, this thing is huge. Regular antenna is a 1 by 2 by 5. It is enormous. But this compact antenna is a 1 by 1 by 3. So much less block volume, and it should make it way easier to fit in especially smaller large grid ships. Like if you have a large grid ship like this red ship here, it's easy to slap an antenna somewhere because you have plenty of space. But if you have a nice compact small large grid ship, these antennas can be kind of bulky and annoying. So this smaller antenna is going to be great for building. This is actually kind of fun doing this, knowing that the editor is going to touch it. I've never done one of these like overviews through my editor yet, so this will be fun. Next, we have a new mechanic related to the destruction of cargo containers. So, for example, we have this small cargo container here, and inside of it is 100 steel plate. If we take out our grinder and quickly destroy the cargo container, you notice that it doesn't drop the steel plate anymore. It drops this temporary container, as we have on the name for it here. Within that container, it has the cargo. So if we take this from the container disappears, and we have collected our stuff. I think this is going to be a lot better for, like, say you take out an enemy ship and you blow their cargo out of the sky. Instead of their stuff just floating away with a bunch of different pieces off into the void, you're going to have one cargo container there that you're going to be able to manipulate and take away. Like, as far as I understand, this thing is also affected by mag plates and landing gear. So you can pick this thing up and you can take it and, again, as far as I understand, drop it into a collector. And the items within it will get transferred in through the collector. So that means that this is just a nice, concise loot drop, which I think is going to be awesome. Alright, so that's that thing. How do I want to do this? Well, we're going to get a seat here so we can use the broadcast controller. And I'm going to do this broadcast controller example. Okay. Next up is the broadcast controller. Now this is going to be a really interesting block, and I can see a lot of different implications. Oh, no, I didn't like that. Not implications. I want to say implementations, but I said the wrong word. Okay. Cut. Next up is the broadcast controller. This is going to be a really interesting block, and I can see a lot of different ways you could implement the use of this block. That sounds horrible. God, I'm not going to do that. Implement the use of it? This is how I do it. I say horrible things, and I'm like, oh God, that sentence doesn't work, and then I start over again. All right, once again, take 3. Next up is the broadcast controller. Now this is going to be a really interesting block, and I can see a lot of uses for it. What this does is it allows you to add messages to the chat from the grid. So if we take a seat here in this control seat, and we take a look at that broadcast controller, and broadcast controller, the example one here, we can take a look at what we have available to us. We have the choices of broadcasting for the owner, so just me. We can be everyone in my faction, or absolutely everybody on the server. We can set to whether or not we want it to use an antenna. If it is enabled, then it will send out to everybody within antenna range. If it is unchecked, only players that are within a cockpit or a control seat of that grid will hear the message. So it's nice if you want to like broadcast a warning, want everyone to hear that. But if there's some secret thing like, oh, your guns are reloaded, you don't want everyone to know that. You yourself want to know that, so you can set it to just to the people that are on the grid. You can set a name for this particular thing, as in like when it says something in chat, it'll come from that name. So I can go like test broadcast. God, if I can spell properly, broadcaster. And then you can say, oh, I got these 8 different messages. So let's say hello world. Now, what I can do is on my G menu here, I can go to that broadcast controller, and I have these various options. I can enable and disable the everyone, the owner, the faction only. I can turn whether I want to use the antenna on and off through here. I can also send my different messages, send a random message, or send the block's current GPS. So say I wanted to transmit message 1, which is my hello world. I come out here so I can actually see my chat, and I hit 1, and we can see... Fuck, I don't want all those cycles in there. That looks so bad. Okay, I'm going to reload real quick. Clear off the fucking chat. That was so good until I got to that point. Now I gotta start and say it all again. God damn it. And I have this like cycle X25 there, and it's like, bleh, what does that mean? Alright. Fucking chat window's clean. Okay. Okay, we're starting over again. Take 4. Next up here is the broadcast controller, and this block is going to be really interesting. I see a lot of different implementations for this. What this block allows you to do is send messages to chat through the block. So you can send different messages to different people. They can be whether or not they're on the grid. You can do it. You can trigger them based on... I'm failing. Okay. Take 5. God damn it. So this is the shit you don't see, where I just like fail repeatedly at saying simple things. But you edit it all out, so I sound smooth and articulate. But I'm actually a bumbling fool. Hopefully you guys are finding this funny, because I am. Next up is the broadcast controller. This is going to be a really interesting block, and I see a lot of cool implementations for it. This block allows you to send chat messages through grids. So let's take a look at this block in the control seat here. So this particular broadcast controller, our example one, we have the ability to send this chat message through. You want it to be just to the owner? Do you want it to be people in your faction? Or do you want it to be everyone around you? Which, pretty obvious, if you want like particular messages to everyone, if say if an enemy is coming closer, you want to warn them, don't come any closer, we see you. Or if it's say just to your faction, oh hey, I'm going to go out on a mining trip. I've undocked this rover or this ship. You want everyone in your faction to know that that ship has left, so they know where it is. You can choose whether or not you want to use an antenna. So if it is selected, it will broadcast for people that are not on the grid currently. But if it's unselected, it'll only broadcast for people that are currently seated on a control seat or a chair or something on that grid. You can set a custom name here. Here I have it set as Test Broadcaster. And you can set 8 different messages. So you can set these up for a bunch of different situations and then call on the message that you need at that time. So the very, very stereotypical coding example of hello world as the first message here. And then you can choose to set a random message or even send the GPS of the block's current position, which might be useful if you, need something to yell out, help, I'm in trouble, I've crashed, here's my position. And you can go and find your drone that has run out of power and crashed somewhere. But let's take a look at the different options we have here for this example broadcaster. So, the standard options are toggle on and off, shown on HUD, on and off. We have enable for everyone, faction only, and owner only, as well as whether or not you want to use the antenna on and off. Our different 8 transmittable messages, as well as the random message and GPS. So let's just set GPS here. We have send message 1 and we have send GPS. So if I turn my HUD back on so you can actually see the chat and I press 1, we get from Kanajashi test broadcaster, and let me put it in a place where maybe you guys can actually read that nicely. There we go. Hello world. So now we can spam that as many times as we wish, as well as press 2, and we'll get the GPS coordinate of that broadcaster. I see so many options for this. Like, not only just from like taking from a coding perspective. When I write code for my work, I put in a bunch of print statements that say, oh, hey, I'm at this part of the code, I'm doing this action next. And so that way I know if the code crashes or if something goes wrong, I know where the process was. I expect to be adding these to a lot of my grids to just say common things like cargo is 50% full, using an event controller to trigger it. Or like, you're running out of power, land soon. Like, simple things like that. Altitude warning, where if I'm flying along and not paying attention, all of a sudden in the chat it's going low, low, you're low, pull up, pull up, pull up. There's going to be some cool things you can do with that. Another option would be for something like a defensive controller. So if you go on and grab a AI defensive and plug it into your broadcast controller and have the AI defensive trigger the broadcast controller, it can yell out, hey, I've spotted something. Warning, at this location, I've spotted something. Because it can tell the broadcast controller to yell out its GPS location. So I see that as like, of course, there's small grid versions of these too. I see that as something you could do, set out like a little drone or a little like sensor beacon somewhere that just waits until an enemy wanders nearby, and then it yells out, oh my god, there's an enemy over here. And that would be great for sending like a sensor drone ahead of you into a mine, like an asteroid cluster. Like there's some of them over here, like that asteroid cluster over there. I don't know if there's an enemy lurking there. Let me build up a little sensor drone and shoot it at that cluster, and if it doesn't get back to me with a message saying there's an enemy, I'm safe. I think that's going to be a great implementation of this block. Hack broadcast controller, replace all text. We've been trying to reach you about your spaceship's extended warranty. That's hilarious, Lucas. Oh, that's great. Next up, and last of the free blocks, is the action relay. This block is going to be so cool, and it's going to have so many Can't speak. Take two. Next up, take 2.5. I never really started that take. Next up, and last of the free blocks, is the action relay. Oh my, this block is going to be so cool. It allows grids to talk to each other, and you're able to affect another grid wirelessly. There's so many things that we're going to be able to do with this. Like, the simplest one, the first thing that popped into my head was garage door opener. And we're going to have an example of that over here. So this is a pair of gates from the Frost, whatever it was. I forget the DLC's name, the Frozen DLC. Yes, the Elsa DLC. And I've set them up in a way that if I open them up, they are basically a giant, like, airlock ship hangar, right? You can fly a ship through there. I have this action relay here, and it is set up on Lucky Channel 7. There is 100 channels that you can set up, so a ton of options here. And when this thing gets a signal, we go into the setup actions, and we've set up so that the example gates, these two, are going to open and close. So now what we need to do is on any other grid, you have another action relay tuned to channel 7. You send a signal on channel 7. Every single action relay on channel 7 will hear that signal and execute on their design, like their designated actions. So on this little mining ship here, we have added a relay. Also, if there are separate grids, you do need an antenna, just so you know. And we can go and say, oh, hey, please close the gate. I am on a completely separate grid, and I just pressed one button on my action bar here, and I affected another grid. That is really cool, and it was only something we could do with scripts before. There were some like radio communication scripts out there, but this is so much easier to do. And now means you do not have to worry about adding those scripts into your world. Which means console players have this ability now. No longer is it a PC-only thing. Yeah, I'm so happy about this. Okay, let's go back over here. Oh yeah, they were all jank, that's for sure. So if we take a look at the action relay here on the bar, we can see standard toggle on off, show on HUD on off. We can increase and decrease the channel by 1. We can set our channel. and we can send signals and enable whether or not we want it to be owner, faction, or for everyone. So I see a absolute ton of possibilities with the action relay. Being able to communicate between grids is going to be like so powerful. Like even the simple action of a garage door opener that we showed off over there is one thing, but we could have complex like detect stuff with AI blocks. We detect it with event controllers that then when one ship has an event that occurs, it communicates to another ship to do another thing. Like, oh, I could say when this base is low on this resource, like say you have a bunker somewhere that has a bunch of turrets, and when it detects that it is low on ammo, it sends a signal back to the home base, which triggers a drone that flies the drone over and does a cargo run to replenish the ammo. Like, all automatically is going to be so cool. And we're going to be able to set up such awesome, fully functional automatic grids with this. I'm so excited about the action relay. Okay, so that's it for free things. No, wait, we have the red ship starting scenario, and we have the NPC takeover stuff. I'll have to get some footage of that another time. But we're going to get the... we're going to get the paid stuff now. Okay. So that is it for the free add-ons to this DLC. And now we're going to talk about the different new paid DLCs. We're going to start that again. Because it's not a DLC, it's the update, and then it's the DLC is the paid. Okay. So that's it for all of the free things coming in this update. Next, we're going to go look at the DLC, the paid content that has a bunch of really cool cosmetic blocks. And to start things off, we have the Trusses. Now, this is another semi-functional, but also as we have a little bit of functionality here with the decoy and the lights, but just cosmetic structural blocks with these trusses, which you're able to build up and use to make your grids look that more industrial, construction zone looking. I don't know what I was fucking saying. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay. I'm going to do the thing where I talk about this over to this, and then we're going to take a look at these blocks, and then I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to say, first off is the truss pillars. There we go. That way I can at least get something done and dusted. Alright. So that is all of the free things that are coming with this update. Next up is the paid DLC and all of the cosmetic blocks that are being added to it. So let's go through these. First off is the new trusses. Now these are cosmetic items that are meant to make your grid look that bit more industrial, a bit more like a construction site with the trusses, with these cables running through them and such. We have them in large grid for, let's see, There is this pillar. There's also the same pillar in small grid. It is actually small grid, but it is the exact same size because it is 1 by 1 by 5, which is the height of a large grid block. So this is exactly the same size, just happens to be large grid and small grid. We also have a T. This isn't a T, this is an X. I'm gonna start that over. See, I'm so bad at this, making videos, man. I don't know why you guys watch me. I'm so bad at this. Did you pass it the T? First off is the new truss blocks. Now these are to give a nice construction, industrial vibe for your grid. We've got several different variations of them. This straight block and this one are actually two different blocks. This one is large grid, this one is small grid, but they're exactly the same size. So you can use this guy in your small grid to sort of have that same tie-in, like the same block between your large grid and small grid, and it'll look great. We have the X, the cross, so that you can connect them all together. Have an offset one, which is just off on the corner, and that allows you to connect with this angled one, which if I get out the trusses really quickly here, we can take a look. As I rotate through absolutely everything to find what I need. So you can have like the truss pillar diagonal coming off like that. And there's also a T junction for it. We also have some functionality in these blocks with truss lights. So we have both small grid and large grid, which have a light on top of them. And if we take a look through build vision, we can see that it is a full light. We can set the fall off intensity, offset, the colors, the radius, everything you would expect from a normal light. As well, this one is really cool. This is truss decoy, which beyond the fact that it works as a decoy, right? This thing looks amazing as a greeble. Like, it just has got all the details of a nice, beautiful greeble. Hell yes. And so you can build your own custom little sensor towers like this. Like, whoa. Just a couple pillars up. We have the decoy, another pillar, and then a light on the top. That is so cool. Custom, like, antenna looking thing that is just going to be beautiful for greebling your grids. The only complaint I have with the trusses is we're missing two blocks in my mind. We're missing a 90-degree turn here. So just take this and slice it here and take this part of it off. We're missing a 90-degree turn. As well as this corner is only good for the offset one. There isn't a corner that goes from center to center, which would essentially just be slice there and slice here and drop it down. That'd be a very quick fix. Because if we look at this truss pillar diagonal, it does not fit on the vertical centered pillar, unfortunately. Also, if we look at the trusses, we click on here and we click the small grid versions, we see that we only have the straight pillar in the small grid. I'm pretty sure you could get the rest of these within small grid fairly easily. So I think that the 90-degree and the 45-degree, and get them all into small grid, and then trusses will be perfect. But even as they are, still pretty good. All right, next up. Next up is the inset walls. Now we have, was it 6 of these things here? We have the corner, the interior corner here. We have the inset wall basic version. We have inset wall with a light, and of course everything that comes around with being a light, fully customizable. We have inset wall with a greeble in the center for a little bit of, it's called inset wall pillar, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I am correct. Yeah, it's just got a greeble in the middle to break up the monotony if you had a whole bunch of basic walls together. As well as this little one in the corner is the interior corner, and a 45-degree one. And so with those options, you can go through and create, realistically, whatever corridor shape or size that you could possibly need. The only thing I can think of for these is it would be really cool if this thing in the middle of the inset wall pillar was like the access panels. So if we go to the access panels and we plop one down here really quick, you see how these things can open and then there's something in there. There's a terminal, or one of them's like an access panel with a button or something like that. That would be a really cool option here, is if there was a, maybe this one is just the greeble, just to look that way, and then you get another 1 or 2 more that have a little access panel we can open up and get an access terminal or press a button kind of thing. That would be awesome. All right, next up. Next up is the bay windows. And, oh man, these are going to be great for adding windows to your grids. We've got the interior corner here. Just a regular window with no railings. We have a window with railing. And we have a window which has the open window on the one side and the cap on the other side in order to get airtight. As well, we have a bay window dome, which I think this thing, if you guys have ever seen the photos or the videos of it on the International Space Station, they've got like this cupola on the side of it, and you can like go up in there and look 360 out at the entire space station and out into space. I think this is going to be amazing to be that kind of block. So if we get one of those bay windows here and we plop it down, just, yeah, let me throw it down on top of here for a second. We could have this as something just along, you can just pop up and you can look around and see all around you and see up. I think it's going to be a great addition to some of the builds to be able to add in some skylights and such. Ever thought of doing trying survival possible in a playthrough? Possibly. Speaking of which, the series is probably going to take a hiatus because 1, I have to make sure the series isn't broken after the update, and 2, my editor is about to become a dad, and so he's taking his wife to the hospital, and like in the next few days, I assume, because their baby's just about due. So my editor might be like MIA for a while. So yeah, I might do something else in the meantime, just as like a streaming series or something. Survival Impossible, the streaming series or something like that. But let's finish off here. Oh, in case anyone joining in right now, I'm recording the summary video while being live. Just so you know, if I'm not interacting with chat all the time. And it also comes in all of the small grid versions, so you can create your own windows and maybe even completely custom cockpits from these new blocks. Okay. Next up is the narrow corridors. Now, you're going to allow some access to tight parts of your ship, as well as even a little bit of stowage. Narrow corridor, narrow stowage. So you can put a little bit of stuff in here, and these line up quite nicely with some of the other half blocks that we have. So I just clean up my bar here. There was like the half bed. So you can put that right in there, and that lines up nicely with the stowage corridor, and you can create nice tight bedrooms with some of these blocks. Also, I believe, I'm not sure how well these line up with Willis blocks, as I believe Willis were more of the horizontal, while these are the vertical. But yeah, you can see the Willis blocks are meant for you to be crawling along while crouching, where these guys are the standing in a narrow passageway. And we are capable of making narrow airlocks, as we now have doors with these narrow passageways. Both the full size and the half size. Very nice. Continuing on. How many corridors are there? 8 blocks. Next up is a set of 8 new corridors, and we have them all laid out here. You've got a corridor with a glass window. Corridor with glass... start that over again. Take 2. Next up, we have 8 new corridor blocks. We have got so many different varieties of these. One with a roof window. One with... oh, why did I... windows. God. Take 3. Next up, we have 8 new corridor blocks with so many different varieties of them. One here with a window in the roof. Double windows, one on each side. Window on a single side. We've got our X junction. We've got our T junction. Our 90 degree. Our straight path. As well as our straight path with a light. And that's realistically all you need in order to build a network of these corridor blocks. Now, honestly, the best part about these corridor blocks, if we go and look at other corridor blocks, we, like the passageways and such from previous updates. If we look through and look at some of these, like passageway, this is passage 3 light, and all this kind of stuff. The downside is they don't have a floor. So you need a block underneath them in order to seal them. There's some applications where having this passageway not have a floor is useful for some contraptions, because you want to make sure that there's no, like... God, my brain is not functioning. Physics collision. That's what I was trying to say. I just couldn't say it. Like, sometimes it's useful for these passageways to not have a floor, because you want to do some, like, some physics. You don't want to have a collision box there. You say you're going to add a vent in the bottom of it. There's some usefulness there for sure. But it's annoying when every single passageway doesn't have a floor to it. So because we have these new passageway, these corridors that are sealed, we can make a sealed airlocked corridor, which is so nice to do. Because I could see these being used as like bridges from one area to another. You just have a bunch of these double window corridors going down, alternating with regular blocks and light blocks, and you could easily have a sky bridge between one part of a base and another while being fully sealed in. If you wanted to do that with the other corridor, like the other passageway blocks, you would have to put a floor on it somehow with an armor panel or something along those lines. But overall, great corridors. Always, like, this is enough. We could do everything we need to do with this. Always would be very nice if the corridors had, like, one that had a cargo access and there was a cargo connector on the other side, and so that you could access cargo in the hallway, or one that had a access panel you could open up and get to a button or something like that, or like, yeah, one with a button panel or one with an LCD. These are all wonderful things that could be added, but as it stands, corridors are completely functional. Next up is some console modules. And oh baby, these things are pretty. No longer will you have to download some mod to get some pretty consoles. We have them in the game now. And they come in both large grid and small grid versions. So you can make some really cool custom cockpits in your small grid ships. We have this version, which is the console module, the base one. Next up is the console module with buttons. So we've got the 3 buttons that we can press, and that also works for the small grid, 1, 2, 3. We have the consoles with LCDs. This comes with a chair in the large grid, and just is one big LCD on the small grid. You know, this, just by itself, is awesome. Because this looks like a little personal computer or something like that. Like, if I could make, like, we could just add on like a small, oh no, it's floating away. Okay, I can save this. 1 second. Okay, we're in space and things just float, so I must be careful. We add like a small battery on this thing and like a programmable block, and literally we've like made a custom little computer that is just gonna sit there and like look cool and could have some script on it that is doing one particular thing. Or like, I see this as honestly not something very gameplay, like not a huge thing about gameplay. I see this as something to be used in scenarios and setting up story, where you just have one of these things with a mag plate on the bottom and you stick it somewhere, and it's the computer that you need to access in order to do something in order for this scenario to move forward. Like, this model looks amazing. Moving on from there, we got the corner version. Yeah, the interior corner, which also has the small version down here, and then the exterior corner, which this little console corner I think could look absolutely amazing if you just have it as like this like console island with like 3 or 4 of them, or a couple of them, or however you want to do it. That looks great. And also this small version down here, oh, just looking so wonderful. Yeah, these consoles, A+, I love them, and I'm going to be using them in a lot of my builds in the future. Okay. And then this is the last of the paid items. And then last of the paid items is actually not for this pack, but for Decorative Blocks 3. So, I'm going to start that over again. Can you command vehicles for the console chairs? I assume they're full on, like, command seats. I mean, the only way to test that would be, like, to build a ship and then throw one onto it and try it. But I'm not going to do that right now. And last of the paid items for this pack is some upgrades to the scaffolds that came out in Decorative Pack 3. So, if I'm understanding this correctly, it's not like if you buy this pack and you have gotten Decorative Pack 3, these will be added? No, that is not right. These are just added to Decorative Pack 3, right? This is not part of this pack. This has just been added to Decorative Pack 3. Okay. I think that's how it goes. So I'm just going to say that. And the last of the paid items is actually not part of this pack, but is part of Decorative Pack 3. But it's just being added in this update. In the scaffolds that came out in Decorative Pack 3, there were a few blocks that were missing, and so they've been added here. We have a scaffold sloped frame. We have scaffold X crossing, so that way you can go in any direction on the walkable scaffoldings. Walkable scaffolding T-junction, as well as this scaffold frame. So, those 4 items were added to Decorative Pack 3. So if you have that pack, you will get these items added in at no additional cost. Okay, I'm going to do a quick outro. And then we're going to pop off to one of these things and get some footage of the capturing mechanic. And then we're going to pop off to the main menu to get some footage of the new main menu thing. And then that should be it. That's everything that came out with this update. Because there's several things out there. I'm going to do the spectator camera so I don't hear my thrusters floating around and I can be a little bit smoother. What time is it anyway? 9:30, okay. And that is everything from the Signal update. I am very excited about the new functionality that the action relay and the broadcast controller have added to the game, and looking forward to using all of the new cosmetic blocks in my builds. That's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and good hunting out there, fellow space engineers. Okay, that'll be the outro. And now we're going to get some footage of the other parts of the game. We don't need to make ourselves invulnerable and targetable because we are already in creative mode. So let's go for that mining transport. Teleport ourselves inside of it. Or teleport ourselves right here. This is your first stream? Oh, it's a weird stream to run into first as I'm doing this recording live. Yeah, okay. So let's get some footage for the grid takeover. Yeah, I've never done this before, doing it live. Ow! Fuckers! Got rid of you. Okay. So, what do I want to say here? I want to say one of the new mechanics related to taking over enemy grids is the easy grid takeover thingy. What is it called? It's just a grid takeover. And that it doesn't take over the grid, it doesn't give you ownership, but it transfers the PCU to you, so that way the grid doesn't despawn. Okay. One of the new mechanics coming with this update is the NPC takeover. So if we grab this NPC, seat here and we grind it to hacking. There we go. Below the hack line and back up. And now you can see unclaimed blocks will despawn within 2 hours. So if we go in here and we open up the menu, pressing K, we see this new button up here at the top where we want to claim this NPC grid. So claim the PCU of this grid. You must have 2,259 PCU available to claim. If we press the button, we can see this screen pop up. Claiming this grid will transfer all of its PCU to you and prevent it from despawning. Grids will still need to be hacked to gain ownership. You need 2,259 to claim, and we have 997,967 available because we have it set really high in this testing world. So, if I press OK, this grid is now assigned to me through PCU, but I don't own it yet. But what this will do is it'll allow me to take this grid on with my personal PCU, and it won't be deleted by the server if that grid is not claimed. Excellent! That way we can claim our grids. They won't be sitting around being unclaimed but not being deleted, because in the past that's how it worked and things got a little out of control. There was excess PCU in the server. People had to go through and clean it up. This just makes it built-in, nice, easy way to maintain the PCU of your server by having people claim the NPC grids that they capture. That was good. Alright, so now I'm done with this actual being in-game. Now we need to talk about the start menu. With this update, we have a brand new start menu. If we go new game here, we can see it's completely changed. Your ability to change between sandbox, story scenarios, PvP scenarios, original content, or community content with stuff from the workshop. Oh, cool. Areas of War, Industrial Overhaul. I think these are the ones that I've subscribed to. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to start that over again. Community, browse community. Okay, back. Along with this update, they have made an overhaul. And they made an overhaul. They've done an overhaul. Along with this update, they have done an overhaul to the new game menu. So if we click on into new game, we get this awesome screen. And it shows what kind of... that's not the right word to say. Start that over again. And in this update, they have also done an overhaul to the new game menu. Now, it shows what type of world you would like to start. You want it to be a sandbox, a story scenario, some of their built-in scenarios that they've added, a PvP scenario, some original content, or even community content that you've downloaded from the workshop. From here, we can easily just select something and hit start and quick start right into it, or we can hit customize and we get our existing customize screen where we can choose our mods, set all the different settings, how we like it, and then hit start. Okay, I think that's it. That should be all of the things added in the update, right? Let me check. Anything else? Magic edit stand for temp controller. Need to add ores to cargo container and show if it can or not. Also hoard the ores in temp container for shooting ore so you can store cargo. Okay, let me see. I'll load the game back up and we'll see if the ores also fall out. I think it'd probably be fine and such. Space Engineers Reddit. We'll do that quick test here. Signal update. Okay, signal is here. Free is the broadcast controller, action relay, broadcast controller thing, additional armor panels, compact antenna, new... Oh, the red ship starting scenario. I gotta do something about that in particular. Where the fuck is the... Is it over here? I'll just find it through the entity list. Blue ship. Red miner. There we go. Get rid of this. Cargo. Some, like, silicon ore. Fill it. 20,000 silicon ore. Yeah. Drops in the ores. I think it's got like a 5 or 10 minute timer or something like that before it's removed. And this thing has exact volume. Okay. So if that has exactly 7,400 volume, and I take that ore, and I put another cargo container there, and I add way more ore, so it's more than that. It's full now, 15,000. The thing has 15,000. So it's, yeah. It adapts to how much you need. Cool. So then the last thing is the modern red ship scenario. I'm going to create a new, open up a new save of that. Because I removed some stuff. Oh, reload indicators. I totally forgot that. Yeah, we'll do that with a... Okay, new game, red ship, start. Oh, and tree collisions. Fuck, I didn't even show that any of that shit. Okay, we gotta get some more, couple more things here. We'll just set ourselves back up over here. I'm still recording. Okay, we're good. The red ship starting scenario has been completely rebuilt with all of the new blocks and mechanics that have happened over the past 10 years since this thing was implemented. Okay, it's not implemented. It's been 10 years since this has been built, because this is like the OG starting thing, and I remember them saying in this stream earlier today that it's been 10 years. So I do want to say that. The red ship starting scenario has been completely rebuilt from the ground up using all of the new blocks and mechanics that we have had added to the game. The red ship starting scenario has been overhauled with all of the new mechanics and blocks that has been I can't speak. It's getting late. I just want to stop, but I got a couple more things to do. The red ship starting... I can't speak! The red ship starting scenario has been completely rebuilt from the ground up using all of the new blocks and mechanics that have been added to the game over the past 10 years since it was first built. Oh man, it is absolutely gorgeous and shows off everything that the game has Fuck, I didn't want to say it. So good. It shows off everything that the game has to offer. That's what I wanted to say, but I messed up. The red ship starting scenario has been rebuilt from the ground up, using all of the new blocks and mechanics that have been added to the game in the past 10 years since it was first made. Now, this is a real showcase for everything the game has to offer. Okay, so that's the starting scenario for that. There is that, the broadcast controller, that's good, done that, done that. We've got the respawn improvements, but I mean, I guess I can show that. Just the fact that you, a message shows when you die, and my parents just put my dog outside, so now I gotta put my camera on so I can tell when she's barking and when she wants in. Okay. I think I can do that by setting up a quick gun somewhere and shooting myself with it. You've died of dysentery. Oh, I'm in creative, so I can't die. I gotta go into survival. Let's show off the new browsing of community scenario start. I could, but I'm already got enough footage, I think. Oh, and of course, because I'm in survival now, this thing runs out of ammo. Of course it does. God damn it. Gatling ammo box. What? I want to spawn in target.
Inventory full.
Alright. Quickly before this thing runs out of ammo. Do that one more time. Alright, that should be good enough for footage. And then I'm going to shut this thing up because it's so goddamn loud. Oh, it drops a container too instead of dropping the ammo itself. Oh, cool. Okay. Okay, so now I just need some audio for that. Which is... There's a new death... Was it? With death and respawn improvements, you'll now know why you actually died. That's all that needs. You can take that section. So, Moose, my editor, can take that section of audio, and he can take that section of video and put them together, and it'll be good. Reload indicators for static weapons. Spawn with a rocket launcher now. In this scenario, you do. Alright, I'm going to make a quick seat here. I'm going to put I got to put something, a static weapon. Block weapons. This. Artillery, sure. Artillery shell. build the thing up. Seat. Block weapons. Artillery. Let's fire. Good. This is good footage. It's reloading. When's the update dropping? Dropped earlier today. So, thankfully, as I do my recording, I have my voice on a separate track, so he can get the game audio of this shots, and then I can do I can do a voiceover here in a second for game audio and for game footage. They have added reload indicators for static weapons on your they have added reload indicators for static weapons on your they're trying to read their thing on the actual like update blog, but it's like actually poorly written. Like, reload indicators have been added for your static weapons, both around your crosshair and on your hotbar. This will make it easier to see when your weapons are ready to fire. Yeah, that's good. Good. Okay, so that's covered. Grid claiming is covered. New world screen is covered. Grinding components to scrap. And then adjustments in tree collision. And... oh, non-unique items stacking. That's probably the only thing. And then those are the last things. Okay, so... grinding components to scrap, tree collisions, and stacking items. Cargo container. No, I haven't done tree collision yet. So I'm just grabbing footage for the thing. Auction bottle, put in target container. Separate a few of these out, and then we'll put them together again. All non-unique items can now be stacked in your inventory. Good enough. That's all that needs. That's done. Grinding components to scrap. I just need to hold right here, and he can like zoom in on some components will be lost, and he can zoom in on the power cells on the right side. I can put those in a place where they're a little bit easier to read right there. Just like that. Okay. Hold here for a second and just do the other things. They have added a warning when some block components are about to be ground to scrap if you grind that block. Okay, that's all we need there. We need a planet. This place doesn't have a planet. We need a planet. We need Earth. Boom, we got Earth. Let's go. Let's go find ourselves a tree. We need a tree. You need a rover. Okay, the rover I always use for these updates is the blue team rover. Always. Every single time I've used the blue team rover to show off like new skins and such. So I'll show it off crashing into a tree. Alright. I'll just crash into a few trees and he can find the best looking one. This is a good angle. Oh, it's totally anticlimactic, but they used to, like, the tree would break off and it would go flying before. And then we have something like the, oh god, where's my big rover? What is that called? The blah 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 blah. Mastodon, or do I not have a, oh, I don't have my Mastodon in here. What if I grab my bison? Can my bison do it? Wheels. Full power. Ring. Oh, that's good. Mastodon can take out trees. Not the Mastodon. The bison can take out trees. Yeah. Ka-ding-ding. Kavoom. Kavoom. But also, it's less weird physics. Like, the trees are just naturally going, and then I ran this tree, and I couldn't get through it because it was a thick tree. Okay, so that should be enough footage for him, and I just have to say something for it. They have redone tree collisions. Before, they would go all squirrely and fly away and have some weird interactions. Now, it should be a bit more predictable and harder to break when you've got the nice thick trees. Alright, I think that's it. I think that's every single aspect of the update all done. Thank you to my editor, who I'll be throwing this file to right now, and for going through it and putting together a nice, concise overview video, because he's awesome. We stop recording. Okay, right. We'll be ending off for the night here. That was the signal update. The overview video will come out sometime this week. And that is a cool ass mountain. What the hell? I like this mountain. I want to live on this mountain now. I got distracted. Now I just want to live on this mountain. This is a cool mountain. But anyway, that's signal update. Mountain season, sure. I'll be a fucking dwarf, live inside of a mountain. It'll be great. In case you're just joining us and you haven't heard this yet, my editor is having a kid very shortly. So he's going to be a dad. So congratulations to him. That also means that the series will be taking a hiatus, as he obviously needs to put family first. So we may or may not get an episode out this coming week. If we don't, I'll do some live streams and such. I want to obviously finish Baldur's Gate because I'm pretty close to the end there. And I can do several live streams on the... he's doing these while his wife is pregnant. It's a difference. And so I will do some live streams and stuff in the meantime while he is AFK taking care of his family. Because obviously that's the number one priority, is take care of your family, do your real life obligations, then you can come back and have fun. So there might be a short hiatus of the series of Into the Dark, but otherwise I'm going to do some other games and probably like a more just some kind of Space Engineers live streaming series that'll last for a few weeks, kind of thing. Oh, and what perfect timing. Sasha is barking because he wants to come in. So that is going to be it for now. I'm going to head off here and go and let my doggy in and start heading to bed because I have to go to work tomorrow. Unfortunately, I have to go to work. Thanks for watching, and yeah, all you various space engineers out there are awesome. I love you guys. From the heart. And as always, good hunting out there, fellow space engineers.